Good morning, students. First, we are going to cover financial statements of companies, and after break, if time permits, we are going to start with branch accounting. So let's start with balance sheet pro forma. If you remember balance sheet pro forma, it is equity and liabilities, shareholders fund, share capital, reserves and surplus, then non-current liability, long-term borrowing, deferred tax liability, other long-term liabilities, long-term provisions, current liability, short-term borrowing, trade payable, other current liability, short-term provisions. Assets, non-current assets, property, plant and equipment, intangible assets, capital WIP, intangible assets under development, non-current investment, deferred tax asset, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets, current assets, CIT, CSO, current investment, inventory, trade receivable, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans and advances, and other current assets. I hope you have completed your homework. So can you tell me last question that we covered? I think that was illustration number 5. We have completed. So please tell me first question number that we have to cover. Yes, and then we are going to start that difficult illustrations, and then we are going to start with first part, that is the financial statements, managerial remuneration and dividend. So good morning to every one of you. Yes, Mukta ji, good morning. Tania, Ritika, beta Matanjali, Nalini ji, chalo fast. Good morning to all of you. Yes, tell me illustration 5 we have completed, and which one is difficult one? Yes, Shashwat ji, very good beta. New targets. हाँ, चलो बताइए जल्दी से कौन सा illustration difficult है. So accordingly I will cover that illustration first. Should I start with illustration number 6? You are required to prepare statement of profit and loss account from the following trial balance and balance sheet also. So inventory. Now check whether the nominal accounts are there in the trial balance or not. Nominal accounts. Yes. Chalo. So nominal accounts, first thing you have to see nominal accounts. Nominal accounts appearing in trial balance. So that you have to check first. Nominal accounts appearing in the trial balance. So profit and loss account which is given. Therefore, P&L balance is equal to opening balance. P&L balance is equal to opening balance. Correct है? मुक्ता जी इतना डिटेल में मत जाइए. शेयर वारंट जो होता है, एप्लीकेशन मनी रिसीव्ड पेंडिंग अलॉटमेंट इज यू हैव नॉट अलॉटेड शेयर्स, एंड शेयर वारंट you already allotted that shares. So that is a basic difference. Inventory. This is the opening stock. Okay. So opening stock is given in the question because closing stock is in adjustment. And this inventory relates to finished goods. This opening stock is related to finished goods because raw material consumed is given separately. Consume means what? Opening raw material plus purchases minus closing stock of raw material. So write down over there, material consume opening plus purchase minus closing. Now this furniture. Furniture, you can see here, depreciation is there. We are not aware about that. So furniture, yes, closing or opening, that we have to check. Discount. Now discount. Yes beta, where you have shown discount? चलो बताइए जल्दी से. डिस्काउंट किधर बताया आपने? Other expenses. Other expenses is for discount rupees 40,000. Then loan to directors. So loan to directors, where to shown beta? It's a liability. Long-term borrowings. Where to show it? Under the head long-term borrowings. Sorry. It's loan to directors, not liability. Yes, loan to directors is an asset over here. So debit balance. So debit balance means here it is short-term loans and advances. IMP. Short-term loans and advances. Sorry my friends. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कोई फैकल्टी से, पर हो गया. Loan to directors is showing a debit balance because it is not showing credit balance. So loan to directors is your asset, and that asset is shown under the head short-term loans and advances. So advertisement. Now advertisement, where to show beta? Other expenses. Bad debts. Bad debts, where to show? Other. Chalo, sorry for technical problem. Now once we will revise it first very fast. Inventory, opening stock, finished goods, furniture, property, plant and equipment, discount will be shown under the head other expenses. Loan to directors, short-term loans and advances. Advertisement is other expenses. Bad debts is other expenses. Commission, other expenses. Material consumed, you have to write it given separately. So opening raw material plus purchases. Plant and machinery, you will show under the head property, plant and equipment. Rentals will be other expenses. Current account and cash will be cash and cash equivalent. Interest and bank loan will be property, plant and equipment. Preliminary expenses, other expenses. Fixtures, other property, plant and equipment. Wages will be employee benefit expenses, consumables, other expenses, freehold land, PPE. Then tools and equipment is also PPE. Goodwill will be under intangible assets. Trade receivable, it has a separate head. And dealer sales, transit insurance, and trade expenses, we will show under other expenses. Distribution, freight, other expenses, and debenture interest, finance cost. Now, credit side. Credit side will be share capital. Share capital. Share capital will be under the head shareholders fund. Other income. So this is again IMP. Both of this, rent received, other income, profit and loss account, resource and surplus, and depreciation provision, property, plant and equipment, less. According to me, this trial balance is not correct. Why? Because depreciation is not shown under the head particulars. So there must be depreciation head in your trial balance. So in your trial balance, So in next study material, we are going to definitely improve this. Depreciation, it is not shown under the trial balance. So this is a small error, I can say. So not mistake. So this is not the correct trial balance. Why? Because depreciation is not shown under the trial balance. So depreciation has to be recorded under debit side. Okay, but I hope now you are clear with this picture. But one thing I have to make sure that raw material adjustment. So I want to give you the proper thinking for inventory of finished goods and what is the difference between raw material. Okay. So understand the P&L. One important point. Now, what is raw material consumed? It is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So raw material consumed, we write it in profit and loss account statement. And in P&L, for finished goods, we record changes in inventory. Now, what is changes in inventory? Difference between opening and closing stock. Opening and closing stock. So for raw material, we use raw material consumed, and for finished goods, we use changes in inventory. Now this is, yes, you might have opening is greater than closing and opening is less than closing. If opening is greater than closing, it means debit is more than credit. And we are writing it on the expense side. So it has a positive balance. You will write positive figure in P&L. But if opening is less than closing, what it means? Debit is less than credit. Debit and credit, and it will be shown as negative figure in profit and loss account. Negative figure in profit and loss account. You got this concept? Write down and tell me over. See, now in this question also, now you have to check whether his opening is greater or closing is greater. Raw material directly consumed is given. But what about finished goods? So I will tell you the difference between profit and loss account. These items, yes. Now just check it. Write down raw material and finished goods. In raw material, we write raw material consumed. Okay. Puja PSG, yes. Yes. Tell me. Chalo beta, fast, waiting for your answers. Raw material in P&L, we are recording raw material consumed, and in finished goods, we are recording changes in inventory. Raw material consumed. हाँ. चलिए. So over raw material, finished goods. Chalo, fast. Now, sir, what is the difference? Yes. Yes, Riddhi, I'm going to explain this concept. In share capital, we record paid up share capital only. How you find that this is a credit and that is a debit, as then other side won't contain machinery. Regarding what, beta? So this trial balance is tallying. So beta, this is a debit side. मुक्ता आप क्या बोल रहे हो, मुझे नहीं समझ में आया. And this is the credit side of the trial balance, beta. Debit and credit side is simple. See, beta, provision for depreciation in this question. Provision for depreciation, closing inventory is given. Yes. Raw material in P&L, we record it as material consumed, and finished goods, we record it as changes in inventory. Very good. Now see the, yes, I don't know whether you have studied it in detail, but see, now check your profit and loss account. That is a part 2 of our financial statements. Part 2. Beta, machinery is not in the credit side, beta. Machinery provision is on the credit side. You are making a mistake, beta. Provision for machinery is on the credit side. Mukta have clear-cut understanding of the trial balance. Day before yesterday, I was very nervous because of Pune branch students. Paper was very easy, but many of them, they have not cleared their exam. They are not going to clear their exam. Why? Because they attempted only 70 marks question paper. Many students, sir, time hi nahi mila. First reason is that, sir, not getting time. If you want to score exemption, and I already told you that story of monkey, rabbit and goat. Fish, no question, is not going to win. But problem is that monkey, we do not have to tell ki baba how to climb on the tree. But goat and rabbit, they will manage it. How they are going to manage? By doing hard work. Remember, if you are average student, you have to solve each question minimum 5 to 6 times. Otherwise, your paper is not going to finish it within time. Beta, kitne bhi concepts clear hone do. If you think my concepts are clear, but still in 3 hours, you couldn't manage, it's not possible to finish it within 3 hours. Why? Because of lack of practice. Many of my students, they complain, sir, paper was very difficult. I am telling you, paper was not difficult, but paper is by having different adjustments of one illustration. It means if you solve this question paper, many students, I told them to solve it, but they have yet not solved the question paper. I requested you go by one question and solve it and post on the group, but still I'm not getting the single answer. You don't want to work hard. That is the only problem. In insurance claim also, I just saw the question. It was not very difficult, but it is by preparing a creditor's account, how you are going to calculate purchases. Loss of stock and loss of profit is given in the same question. Single entry problem was very easy. So 10 marks. Departmental was very easy. Pre and post was difficult one. In pre and post, they have given you the adjustments. 20 marks question. But students, some of students, yes, Rathi Maharathi मैं उनको बुलाता हूँ. Yes, James of ICI. They divided balance sheet items also. How you are going to divide balance sheet items? Balance sheet items, pre and post incorporation. Balance sheet always as on date is for single date, and your expenditure and income are divided in pre and post part. But those students, yes, they divided balance sheet item also. I don't know result क्या आएगा उनका. Accounting standards. I always tell you कि accounting standards are very important, but students neglect this portion and they get flunked in the exam. Reason is very simple. They don't want to do hard work. They don't want to solve same question for 4 to 5 times. They don't want to improve their speed. And then after exam, you are just like कि यार सर ने ये क्वेश्चन लिया था, क्यों मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया. And then result 60, 40, 45, 50, and ये result आपको फिर ओवरऑल स्कोरिंग के लिए डिफिकल्ट होता है. ठीक है, जैसे आपको लगता है वैसे कीजिए. इट्स माय, I always think my students will get, all students will get exemption, but you don't want to try hard, and this is only the reason for your failure. And then ICI से गालियां देना कि ऐसे ही पेपर निकाले वैसे ही पेपर निकाले. ठीक है, चलो. Distribution freight we have to show under the head other expenses. Any other questions? Revenue from operations. Revenue from operation means sales. You can check this part 2, statement of profit and loss account on page number 4.165. I am now explaining some important points in this profit and loss account. Other income. Now in this question you are already aware about the other income, that is the rent fees and transfer fees. Total income you will add 1 plus 2 expenses, cost of material consumed. Now what is raw material consumed? Raw material consumed is opening plus purchases minus closing of raw material. Now who will record this? This will be recorded by manufacturer. Who will record this? Manufacturer. So for him, raw material is consumed. And purchases of stock in trade, who will record this? Dealer. Dealer will record purchases because he is not going to produce it. He will purchase it. And see, this is a stock in trade. For dealer, it is always finished goods. And changes in inventory of finished goods and work in progress and stock in trade. Now you have two options. Purchase of stock in trade, you can show it separately, and changes in inventory of finished goods. Now see, finished goods changes means you will take closing minus opening. If closing is greater, yes, closing is more, you will write it in negative sign. And if closing is less than opening, then you will write it in the positive sign. So beta, it's not like your 11, 12 standard opening stock and closing stock. Opening stock you will write it in on the debit side, and closing stock you will write on the credit side. We consider changes. In inventory. That is the difference between opening stock and closing stock as per schedule 3 part 2 profit and loss account. So many of you are not aware about this concept. So this is given, and then finance cost you have a separate item, employee benefit expenses, depreciation, other expenses, and now what is extraordinary item, what is exceptional item, that you are going to see it in the accounting standard 5. So don't start with this concept of exceptional and extraordinary, that Faculty will explain you it in the group 2 advanced account what is the exceptional item. If you have a query related to profit and loss account, you can ask me now. Sir, profit and loss account से related any query? Stock in trade is for dealer. Dealer, when he purchase goods, for him it will be a stock in trade. चलो जल्दी से, जो भी डिफिकल्टीज है मुझे फटाफट 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 बता दीजिए. चलो 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 फास्ट. If you have any query related to this, cost of material consumed, purchases, fast changes in inventory, work in progress, and stock in trade. Any query related to these items, tell me. Material consumed. Material consumed is raw material consumed by manufacturer. Dealers will consider purchases of stock in trade. Changes you will consider opening minus closing. Changes in inventory is always closing minus opening. But if closing is greater, you will write it on the negative figure. And if opening is greater, then you will write it in the positive figure. It is always closing minus opening. For Tanya Patkar. Riddhi, sir, other operation expenses were also shown in the profit and loss account. Yes. Sir, changes in inventory, please concept once, please. Shravat ji, बहुत simple है बेटा. Changes in inventory is nothing but closing minus opening. In trading account, how you are going to write it? To opening stock over here and by closing stock, correct? But in this profit and loss statement, we take a difference of this. Okay, we are not writing opening and closing separately, but we are taking changes in inventory directly. Yes. Revaluation treatment, beta. Yes, revaluation surplus. We will show it under the head reserves and surplus. Other operating expenses also. Sir, tax deducted in P&L is provided for tax or actual tax paid. Beta, always provision for the tax. Provision is, we write it on the profit and loss account accrual concept. What is payment is not important, but what is accrued is important. So P&L provision is recorded. Yes. हिमांशु गुप्ता जी. और कौन है? पूनम शर्मा मुझे पूछ रही है. नो डाउट सर. ओके, चलो तो वापस से आ जाते हैं. Now this depreciation on provision for machinery, it has a credit balance. Why it is recorded? We already know this concept because provision is recorded because to show the asset at original cost. So to original cost बताने के लिए हम लोग provision इधर record करते हैं. Any other logical question? Finance cost is interest, beta. Finance cost is interest. And now you can check here cost of raw material consumed. And in this question, closing stock is 8,23,000 and opening stock 6,80,000. So credit is more than debit. Adjustment has two effects. 823 minus 680. 143, you can check here, negative 143. Why? Because credit is greater than debit, it means negative figure. You can check here, you are showing as negative balance. Negative balance. Chalo. Then you will take this profit for the period 6,01,000 and you will add it this 6,01,000 in last year P&L balance and you will get the balance sheet pro forma, and this is a gross block, depreciation, net block, how you have to present it. Okay, so it's very simple now. Yes, now we will start with illustration number 6/7. Yes, if you have any query related to illustration number 6, you can ask me. I am giving you 5 minutes. I have given you all these items which you have to write it in the P&L statement. So if you have any query, you can ask me. You can take a screenshot if you want. Chalo. So this is up to interest on bank loan. If any query, please ask me. I'm waiting for 5 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. I'm waiting for your queries. So this is interest on bank loan. Any query you can ask me fast. If you want answer in my way, with figures, you can take a screenshot. In employee benefit expenses, Matanjali ji will consider expenses related to employees, that is wages, salary, etc. सिद्धार्थ गर्ग पूछ रहे सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ले लो, पर क्वेश्चन ही नहीं पूछा है. एसेट्स बेटा, डेप्रिसिएशन रेट इज नॉट गिवन. आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू अंकिता यादव जी, मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको बता दिया कि वहां पे डेप्रिसिएशन रेट ही दिया नहीं है, तो कहां से मैं डेप्रिसिएशन लूंगा. डेप्रिसिएशन रेट ही नहीं दिया है. हाउ मच टाइम टू फिनिश दिस क्वेश्चंस? 35 मिनट्स टू 40 मिनट्स बेटा. अर्शदीप, शिवम दुरिया डायरेक्टर फीस लेते हैं नेक्स्ट इसमें. यस, डेफर्ड एसेट बेटा मुक्ता, डेफर्ड एसेट अलग होते हैं, फिक्टिशियस एसेट अलग होते हैं. नहीं, दोनों भी अलग अलग है. डेफर्ड एसेट आपको S22 में समझ में आएंगे. व्हाट इज डेफर्ड टैक्स एसेट? सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इट नाउ. दिस इज योर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. शेयर कैपिटल एंड रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस. लॉन्ग टर्म बोरोइंग्स, cash and cash equivalent, cost of material consumed, not purchases, it is consumed. Changes in inventory, employee benefit expenses and finance cost. And other expenses. Chalo. So let's start with other question. Now this illustration 7 is also very easy question. Chalo. So let's start. Before break, we are going to finish with this question. You are required to prepare a statement of profit and loss account and balance sheet from the given information. Authorized capital 15 lakhs, preferential capital 5 lakhs. So preferential capital, we will write it in the other share capital. Equity share capital is also share capital. Now purchase of wines, cigarettes and cigars. Now see, this is finished goods stock. And foodstuff we will consider as raw material. So this is very important. So purchases, this is a separate line item. Separate line item for wine, cigars and cigarettes. Foodstuff we will merge with calculate. Here you can write calculate consumption. So foodstuff you are going to consume. It does not have any stock. Okay, so you are going to consume. Remember, foodstuff you are going to consume. Wages and salaries, you are going to write it under employee benefit expenses. Wages and salary. Now here you will record it separately, operating expenses, selling and administrative expenses in this question. Okay, in last question, because this is in detail question, so here we are going to write it in other items, other heads. Okay, rent and rates and taxes, that is other operating expenses. Other operating expenses. Laundry, other operating expenses, day-to-day expenses. Operating means day-to-day expenses. Sales, you are going to write sales under, you can write over there, revenue from operations. Revenue from operations. Coal, firewood, carriage and coolage, you will record under operating expenses. Operating expenses. Now sundry expenses, ICI consider under administration and selling expenses. Administration and selling expenses. Advertisement also administration and selling expenses. Repairs, you will record operating expenses. Room rents is income, revenue from operations. Billiards, revenue from operations. Now actually these three must be recorded under the head other income, but ICI ने miscellaneous receipts, revenue from operation and transfer fees is also from revenue from operation by ICI, which is according to me it's wrong. You should record it under the head other income. All these three. Other income. Next one. Freehold land and building. Property, plant and equipment. See, this is opening balance. Same PPE, opening. Inventory. This is finished goods. Changes in inventory. And foodstuff, we will write it under the head consumption. INP. Inventory is INP. Cash in hand, cash and cash equivalent, cash and cash equivalent. Preliminary expenses, it has to be written off. So other expenses. Other expenses. Debentures, now it's a liability. Long-term borrowings. Now you only tell me profit and loss account. It is opening balance or closing balance and why? Now you only tell me. Yes, चलो बताइए, थोड़ा participate कीजिए क्लास में. Otherwise, it is very boring session of financial statements. So please participate. Yes, all of you tell me whether it is transfer fees. Very good. Who asked me? Pooja ji. Transfer fees means what, beta? Transfer fees means when we transfer shares. Means company, if you can do it. Suppose Pooja has transferred these shares to Mukta and I am a company. You are shareholder of SS Limited. SS Limited ke shareholders, and suppose if you transfer your shares from Pooja to Mukta as a company, I also have some other work. Otherwise, you will trouble me. And that's why I will charge you some amount, and that amount is called as transfer fees. It is a share transfer fees. And for me as a company, this is income. This is income. Remember. So this is income. Yes, beta. Yes. Everyone has given the answer. Opening balance. Why? Reason is not given. No one has given me the reason. Beta, this is not the reason. Akash Nil, sorry. Beta, Akash Nil ji, as nominal account, first thing, nominal accounts are appearing in the trial balance. Therefore, P&L is showing opening balance. Therefore, P&L is showing opening balance. Okay. Now this is the reason. Yes, Vaishali. Very good, beta. Vaishali Agarwal पहली बार कमेंट दी. See, beta, gross profit we never calculate in company final accounts. It's not your sole proprietor final accounts. So gross profit, Vidyaji, we never calculate. Trade payable, separate head. So nominal accounts appearing. Therefore, opening balance. Separate item. Trade receivable, separate head. Investment, separate head. Goodwill, intangible assets. And general reserve, reserves and surplus. Adjustments. Now we have adjustments. So write down adjustment has two effects. Adjustment has two effects. Wages and salary outstanding. Wages, employee benefit expenses. We will add. So wages. Wages. You will add 1280. And second effect, wages payable under the head other current liability. First effect, second effect, other current liability. Closing stock. Second effect, asset side. First effect, for wines, you will record as changes. Now this is important. For wines, you will record as changes in finished goods, and foodstuff, you will record it in the consumption. So I will explain this concept at the end. Don't worry. Furniture and fittings. But nothing is given non-current investment, Suvarnesh. Depreciation furniture 5%. Where is furniture, beta? So 5%. And freehold property, land and building 2%. So depreciation, we will write separately depreciation for freehold property, $17,000, 8,50,000 into 2%. Correct, na? And second one is furniture, 86,300 into 5%, 4,315. And provision for depreciation, so it is debit balance, separated. Depreciation, we record it separately, and provision for depreciation is there? No. So second effect, we will reduce it, 17,000 and 4,315. Write down. 17,000, 8,50,000 minus 17,000 and 4,315 for furniture. So directly asset side, closing balance. Next, the equity share capital, IMP adjustment. Equity share capital. IMP adjustment, beta. 7,20,000, that is 6,000 shares fully paid, and 2,000 shares are 60 paid up. So 7,20,000. Yes, I will record it. Write down. In notebook, you can write down share capital 7,20,000. It is divided in two parts. Number one, fully paid. Second one, partly paid. Fully paid 6,000 shares into rupees 100, 6 lakhs. Partly paid 2,000 shares into 60 rupees, 1,20,000. The directors made a call of rupees 40 per share, but a shareholder could not pay call on 100 shares, and he reissued at rupees 90. So fully paid. Now 100 shares are partly paid. 1,900 into 100. Now these are fully paid. And shares forfeited. 100 shares and he paid only rupees 6,000. And these shares are reissued at rupees 99,000. This is already collected. And now this is now collected. You got this chart? Yes, tell me. Just bifurcated. 6 lakhs fully paid, partly paid. Fully paid 1,90,000 and shares forfeited. 100 shares already collected 60 rupees and now reissued at rupees 90. Chart cleared? चलो जल्दी से बताओ यहां तक क्लियर हुआ क्या? ओके, ठीक है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज calculation of capital reserve. Calculation of capital reserve. Serial number, particulars, computation, rupees. In exam, in working note, you will show it. Roman 1, total collection. 6,000 plus 9,000, 15,000. It will be 15,000. Roman 2, less equity share capital. How many shares you have? 100 shares into 100 rupees. 10,000. 10,000. And therefore, yes, beta, it's okay, Akash Nil. And capital reserve 1 minus 2. So see, direct entry students, forfeited means we already collected the 6,000 amount, but those shareholders are not paying, so we have cancelled their liability. So we forfeited. So we are not going to pay them back. Okay, that 6,000 which they already paid. So this is called as forfeiture. Forfeiture means not to pay back. In simple language, whatever you collected, you ask for another 40 rupees, but they have not paid that amount. तो उन्होंने वो पैसा दिया नहीं, तो इसलिए हमने उनके शेयर जब्त कर लिए. सो हमारे पास 6,000 आया और हमने ये शेयर्स किसी नए बंदे को इशू किए. वी हैव रीइश्यूड टू अनदर पर्सन for rupees 9,000. So total collection we made 15,000. But remember, my liability is only 100 rupees. So I have collected 6,000 plus again 9,000. So I collected extra, and this is not my day-to-day profit, and that's why it is called as capital reserve. It is called as capital reserve, 5,000. So see, your equity share capital is showing 8,05,000. Now how many shares you have? 8,000 shares. So 80,000 shares. Sorry, how many shares you have? 8,000 shares, on which you collected rupees 100 already. So this is 8 lakhs, and balancing figure 5,000 is your capital reserve. So this is a rectification entry we have to pass. So ICI consider it in 8,05,000, but 5,000 is shown in capital reserve. So you bifurcate it on the question only, and 8 lakhs will be shown under the head equity share capital. So see, equity share capital. Directors declared a dividend. Better dividend if declared after balance sheet date. Yes, we have to show only footnote or notes to account. So footnote you will write. You will write it in the footnote that we are going to pay 8% equity shares, and that equity shares you will record it. So remember, we will record it in under the head footnote only. So just footnote. श्वेता जैन, एक बार मैं वापस बताता हूं। देख बेटा श्वेता, 6000 शेयर्स के ऊपर हमने ऑलरेडी 100 रुपए कलेक्ट किया था। तो आईसीआई क्या बोल रही है, 6000 शेयर्स के ऊपर ऑलरेडी उन्होंने 60 रुपीज, सॉरी, शेयर्स फुल्ली पेड था, और 2000 शेयर्स जो थे 1 अप्रैल मतलब पिछले साल ये 1 अप्रैल को ये पोजीशन था 2000 शेयर्स इज 60 मतलब पार्टली पेड था। पार्टली पेड मतलब पूरा पैसा नहीं आया था, पूरा पैसा नहीं आया था। फिर हमने 2000 शेयर्स के ऊपर 40 रुपया मंगवाया, 2000 शेयर्स के ऊपर कितना मंगवाया, 40 रुपया मंगवाया। तो उसमें से सिर्फ 1900 लोगों ने पूरा का पूरा पैसा दिया, और जो 100 शेयर्स थे, 100 शेयर्स वालों ने बोला कि हमारे पास सिर्फ 60 रुपीज है। हमने उनको वार्न किया कि भाई हमें 40 रुपया दे दो, हमारा पैसा हमें दे दो, पर उसने बोला नहीं सर, हम लोग पैसा नहीं देंगे। तो इसलिए हमने उसको वार्निंग देके उसके शेयर्स जब्त कर लिए, और शेयर्स जब्त करने के बाद वो शेयर्स किसी और को दे दिए। तो 100 शेयर्स हमने किसी और को दे दिए 90 रुपीज। सो 90 रुपीज पे दे दिए, तो 9000 रुपया हमने उससे कलेक्ट किया, और जो बंदा जिसको वार्निंग दिया था उससे 6000 कलेक्ट किया, 15000 टोटल कलेक्ट किया। अभी ये 100 शेयर्स के ऊपर अपनी तो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है सिर्फ 10,000 रुपए की, पर हमने कितना कलेक्शन किया, 15,000। तो बेटा ये हमारा फायदा हुआ। ये फायदा क्यों हुआ, ये डे टू डे फायदा नहीं होने की वजह से हमने इसको P&L में नहीं डाला, हमने इसको कैपिटल रिजर्व में डाला। ये 5,000 रुपए आपका कैपिटल रिजर्व में जाएगा, बस खत्म हुआ। इतना सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट है बेटा। श्वेता जैन, यस, ओके बेटा। और ये जो अभी ये एंट्री किए बिना बैलेंस शीट में 8,05,000 रुपए दिख रहा था, सो 8 लाख रुपए हमने इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल में डाल दिया, एंड 5,000 वी हैव रिकॉर्डेड अंडर कैपिटल रिजर्व हेड, एंड दिस इज ऑल फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन। नाउ सी दिस वाइन्स एंड सिगारेट्स इज ओनली इंपॉर्टेंट. I do not have now index. Index I will give you in the next session. So wines and cigarettes के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. See now this purchases of inventory in trade. This is for wine. And material consumed is for food stuff. Now food stuff beta, now you can check in the question. Food stuff, this is the important point. Purchases 36,200. Opening food stuff 12,800. 36, you can take on calci, 36,200 plus you have opening inventory 12,000. No, food stuff is 5260. Sorry, 5260 food stuff minus food stuff 16,400. Closing 36,200 plus 5260 minus 16,400, 25,060. See whether you are getting 25,060 or not. Yes, 25,060. Now for wine you will record 45,800. For wine you will record 45,800 and 12,800 and 22,500. So now closing is greater than opening. Now see, closing is greater than opening. Closing is 22,500 and opening wine 12,800, 9,700. Now closing. Now someone is asking me, sir, expenses has debit balance and closing stock less opening stock. Closing stock has credit balance. But Akashnil, if you are writing it on the debit side, now you are writing it under debit side, that closing stock. So beta, you have to record it as a negative figure, because on expenses side, you are recording credit item. If you are recording in debit side credit item, it has to be recorded under negative figure. So someone asked me this question, sir, why this is under negative figure? Because expenses is showing debit balance and you are recording it on the credit side as a negative figure. Yes, equity shares में 8 लाख ही जाएगा अंकिता यादव, और 5,000 आपका रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में जाएगा. वेरी गुड बेटा, वेरी गुड. Chalo. Now you got this concept. So what is new concept? Chalo. Every one of you, I just want to understand how many of you understood the concept of. Chalo, jaldi se 5 minute mein revise karte. You only tell me it in the comment section. Every one of you, please participate. Now, what is the difference between foodstuff and wines and cigarettes in this question? You have to write it in the comment section, whatever you understood for foodstuff. Yes, let's see who is answering very properly. Foodstuff and wines. Whatever you understood, yes, you have to tell me. But a foodstuff is raw material. Yes, beta, other operating expenses, Vikas Bansal, you can record it as other expenses. If you don't want to write it at only operating expenses, you can record it as other expenses. Yes. Headings you can give separately. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. After the break, we are going to solve one more illustration. That is illustration number 8, which is really very important. I think illustration number 8 is the last one. Dividend we don't have to record, sir. Let's check it. Who is answering very properly the difference between foodstuff and wines and cigarettes? Riya Jaiswal ने आंसर दिया foodstuff is a raw material, wine is a finished goods. But beta, you are not explain me the treatment, so not happy with your answer. Miss Tanishka Batra ji, foodstuff is a raw material, wine and cigarettes are finished goods. But beta, I am not happy with your answer because you are not explain the treatment. Himanshu Gupta ji answer, foodstuff is a raw material, so we have to calculate consumption. Wines, etc. is a finished goods, so we have to calculate changes in inventory. And you will record purchases separately for wines. So beta, Himanshu, partly correct answer because you have not explained the treatment of wines that is recorded in purchases. And you have not explained the formula also. So not very proper answer. 50% I'm happy with your answer. Ria and Tanishka, yes, not happy with your answer. You know, have not explained me what is the concept of closing stock, opening stock is greater. So you have to write it properly, point by point. Nalini ji, not happy. हाँ, who recorded is Akash Neil. Akash Neil ने लिखा है foodstuff consumption of raw material. Very good. And wine, finished goods, changes in inventory and purchases recorded separately. Yes, आकाश नील को मैं ठीक है, अच्छा आंसर दिया है आकाश नील ने. पूजा जी, yes, but what about purchases? Purchases you have not explained. सिद्धार्थ गर्ग ने लिखा है foodstuff is raw material, we record it as consumption, wine is a finished goods, we record it as not only changes in stock, but purchases and changes in stock. Purchases is there na for wines. वैशाली ने बहुत बढ़िया आंसर दिया है. ठीक है, आंसर क्या एक्सपेक्ट था? व्हाट वाज माय एक्सपेक्टेशन? आंसर इज लाइक फूड स्टफ. फर्स्ट पॉइंट, फूड स्टफ इज इक्वल टू ओपनिंग प्लस परचेसेस माइनस क्लोजिंग इज इक्वल टू कंज्यूम. वन लाइन आइटम, ओनली वन लाइन आइटम. Second one, wines and cigarettes, there are two line items. Two line items, purchase, and second one is closing minus opening. So separate line item for purchase for wine as it is a finished goods and changes in inventory, and as closing is greater than opening, therefore negative figure. So that was my expectation. ठीक है. अर्शदीप ने बहुत बढ़िया आंसर दिया है. अर्शदीप ने सिर्फ परचेसेस लिखना रहेगा बेटा. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत ही बढ़िया बेटा. So this is how you have finished with your illustration number. Now you can check your answers. Changes in inventory, we have to record it as negative figure 9,700. I hope you are clear with this concept of purchases and raw material consume. So before break, yes, if you have any question till now, you can ask me in the comment section. Fast, I'm waiting for your questions. So now this is the time for your questions, beta. जल्दी से मुझे क्वेश्चंस में बताइए. Illustration number 7. Yes, do you have any problem in illustration number 6 and 7? If you have any doubt, you can post it in the comment section. Fast, 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 fast. चलो जल्दी से बताइए. Yes. If you have any question till now, in three parts. One is other operating expenses. Second one is administration and selling and expenses. And third one is a finance cost. And even there are employee benefit expenses also. If you have any query related to this, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will take a break only of 10 minutes and we are going to meet at 8:25. Yes, beta. Treatment is constant throughout the chapter. चलो तो आप और मैं मिलते हैं ब्रेक के बाद. राम जी, प्लीज टेक अ ब्रेक ऑफ 10 minutes. राम जी, प्लीज टेक अ ब्रेक. Come to illustration number 8. Now this is the last illustration of the study material, and after that we are going to start with the branch accounting, foreign branch. Today's homework, you have to do your TYK questions. I hope TYK question only 1 or 2 are different, that we are going to cover it in the next session. And illustration number 8, let's start with the illustration number 8. From the following particulars furnished given below, you have to prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss account. So let's start. Equity share capital. Now what is new in this concept here? Call scenarios. Okay, call scenarios is deduction from the equity share capital. Remember, land you will record at property, plant and equipment, property, plant and equipment, property, plant and equipment, and furniture is also property, plant and equipment. General reserve, reserves and surplus. Then you have long-term borrowings, loan from state financial corporation, long-term borrowings, inventory. Now can you tell me what is this inventory? It's a finished goods and raw material is given. Whether this is a closing stock or opening stock, this inventory. Yes, waiting for your answer. Whether this is opening stock or closing stock. Chalo. Yes, tell me fast. Whether this is opening stock or closing stock. Yes. Provision for taxation is short-term provisions. I'm waiting for your answer. Short-term provisions. Trade receivable, separate line item. Advances, you will record under the head short-term loans and advances. But trade receivable here, you have to prepare one note. Advances, you will record under IMP, short-term loans and advances. Why closing stock? There are no nominal accounts. Okay, very good. Suvarnesh, very good, beta. No nominal accounts. It means, therefore, this stock is a closing stock. As P&L is already prepared. P&L is already prepared. So already opening stock is posted. So this is closing stock, which we have to record on the asset side. Not under changes in inventory. This is asset side item. Debit balance. Dividend payable is also important. Where you are going to write it? Under the head. Dividend payable, other current liability. Other current liability. Very good. Who answered opening stock? Mohammad Faradji. Beta, I hope now you understood your mistake. Because nominal accounts are not there. First check whether nominal accounts are there or not. Then, beta, this is not your 11-12 standard that you always record it as opening stock. Yes, this is CA Inter. So friends, you have to be very careful. Now this profit and loss account, it is showing a closing balance as there is a no nominal accounts. Why? No nominal accounts. You have to be very careful while reading the trial balance. Trial balance read करना बहुत important है. Cash and cash balance and bank balance. Cash and cash equivalent. Loans unsecured. So this is long-term borrowings. And trade payable, separate line item. Separate line item. Okay. Now friends, some additional information is given. 2000 equity shares were issued for consideration other than cash. This is the presentation. So suppose if your equity share capital is showing, what is the balance of equity share capital? 10 lakhs. In that 10 lakhs, you have to write this sentence. This is of 1 mark. 1 mark. Of the above 2000 shares have been issued for consideration other than cash. This is 1 mark. Only for presentation below share capital. Where you will present it? Share capital. Trade receivable. Separate line item actually trade receivable, but wait. You will prepare one note. In that note, you will write. Yes, write down more than 6 months. More than 6 months and others. More than 6 months is beta 52,000. 52,000. So remaining is 1,48,000 others. This is also presentation. Presentation. Building gross block, the cost of the asset, and these 3 items, land, building, plant and machinery, and this is a net block. This is a net block. This is again the presentation. This is again the presentation. You have to write this sentence: secured by hypothecation of plant and machinery. 142,500. So this is a presentation. You can see here under the head long-term borrowings. Yes, 142,500. And this sentence, it will carry 1 mark. So you can write it on the answer side, long-term borrowings. So this is your red pen adjustment. Okay. So 142,500. So what are important points? Debtors, you have to divide it in 2 parts. Above 6 months. Balance at bank 2000 with perfect bank. So this is with, which is not a scheduled bank. So beta, this is again presentation. This is again presentation, that bank balance. So bank balance, cash and cash equivalent. Bank balance. Presentation. With schedule bank. 1 mark again. Others. So others is 2000, which is not this schedule bank. And balancing figure 2,45,000 with schedule bank. So cash at bank. You can see here again red pen adjustment. Red pen adjustment IMP. So mark it as IMP in your answers. And red pen adjustment. So you know which are red pen adjustments. And company had contract for erection of machinery. So beta, erection means installation, and this is a contract of 1,50,000 which is still incomplete. So beta, this is work in progress, and this has to be recorded under footnote. At least you must tell to your shareholders that we have one contract for installation of rupees 1,50,000. It is only a presentation. Okay. So below note. So this is again, this will carry 1 mark. So note, estimated amount of contract of remaining to be executed on capital account not provided 1,50,000. It is assumed that the company had given this contract for purchase of machinery, installation of machinery. So this is again 1 mark. Okay. Only presentation. Below footnote. In footnote, that is in balance sheet, below balance sheet, you will write it. So red pen adjustments, share capital red pen adjustment, secured by hypothecation red pen, interest accrued by but not due is red pen. You can write this presentation in my way. Yes, you can see illustration number, presentation, gross block का evaluate presentation. See the presentation. You can do it in this way. Gross block, depreciation. So this is accumulated depreciation actually. And net block. You can take a screenshot if you want. Yes. So please, I'm giving you 5 minutes. What are important points? You will tell me it in the comment section. Whatever important points, you will tell me it in the comment section. What is new in this question? Every one of you, all important points you have to tell me. चलो जल्दी से मुझे बताइए. Please write down it in the comment section. Fast, fast, fast. Exactly 5 minutes. Huh? Exactly 5 minutes. Yes. Who wrote it properly? So according to me, Shivani, very good beta. Suvarnesh ने लिखा है shares were issued for consideration other than cash. It is has to be right below share capital. Very good. Trade receivable due for more than 6 months is to be shown separately. Beta, whenever I am telling you to write it in the comment section, it's very important. Those who are watching it in the live session, beta, this is only a just interaction between you and me. So please, whenever I am telling you to write, everyone has to write. Though it's wrong or correct, it's not matter. But you are not watching recorded sessions. But here I'm not started with any face-to-face batches with Delhi. Okay, so face-to-face batches or Zoom batches, so I can ask you questions. But it's not possible. So there is only one media between you and me to interact our boss app, and it's very important that your interaction with me. ठीक है, जिनको नहीं देना है आंसर, it's okay, but only watching of sessions is not going to help you out. Second one, trade receivable more than 6 months, less than 6 months, balance in the loan. You have to show interest due under the head current liability, and remaining is balance amount long-term borrowings. That long-term borrowings, again, you have to write, beta, Suvarnesh, you have not written that long-term borrowings. You have to write it in the bracket, that schedule, hypothecation, secured by hypothecation of plant and machinery, that you forgot. Cash at bank has to be shown with schedule and unscheduled separately. Schedule bank and others, not unscheduled. Beta, unscheduled word is not there, Suvarnesh. Incomplete contract, you have to write it in the footnote. And assets are shown at cost, and then depreciation is deducted at gross block and net block. ठीक है, सारू है. रितिका वर्मा ने भी बहुत ही अच्छे से आंसर दिया है. चलो, so now we are done with this part of which part, beta? TYK 8. Yes, TYK 8. Sorry, why TYK 8? It is illustration 8. We have finished with today's homework. See, beta, third number illustration is similar to ILU 8. So ILU 8 और इसमें कोई भी difference नहीं है. Okay. Even your TYK 4 is similar. TYK 5 मजा आएगा आपको. TYK 5 you solve TYK 5. TYK 5 and 6 is your homework. Yes, Mukta, it's not possible to cover it now. So TYK 5 और 6 please try it at home. तो TYK 5 और 6 आपको try करने हैं. Okay, now I'm going to start with one important question, that is a, yes beta, concept of. Today we are going to start with the concept of branch accounts में foreign operation. So foreign operation we have 20 minutes, and after that, yes, otherwise we'll do one thing. Foreign operations we will take it at the end. Today I'm going to start with the new concept of financial statements only. So financial statements का TYK 6-5 year is your homework. And we'll start one with concept of, so after completion of the financial statement, I will take that foreign operation. So please, one more day. On Thursday, we are going to finish with this question of foreign branch. So first we will, otherwise क्या होगा, link लगी हुई है आपका financial statement में. तो today actually my planning is to complete it on Thursday, but yes, now we have sufficient time, that is 40 minutes. So we will first finish with this concept of managerial remuneration. It's very, very important concept, managerial remuneration. Separate line item means, Sahil Walia ji, separate line item means trade receivable, trade payable. It has a separate line item. So you are showing it separately. managerial remuneration. Now I'm not going in very detail for this managerial remuneration because no need to waste timing in explanation of this theory. Otherwise, we will directly focus on section 197, so that I will tell you fast. So section 197 talks about okay. चलो कोई बात नहीं, तो I will directly focus on section 197. Yes, write down. This is very 5 marks question, beta, and very easy question. Easy question, managerial remuneration. So it is actually divided in 4 parts, but I'm not telling you it in very detail. No need, beta. You can read this theory. Yes, write down. Managerial remuneration. See, beta, manager. For example, SS Limited. Whole time, Sanket Shah is a manager. Means he is managing all activities, important activities. Nahi to otherwise you will tell me like he is managing security. So beta, if I'm managing security, I'm not the manager of that company. Remember, so I'm managing important activities, some decisions, important decisions, which will affect profit or loss of the company. Crucially, that is manager. Okay. So manager is important for any business. And apart from manager, suppose, assume there is Mona Shah, my wife. He is part-time director. He is, she is part-time director. Then Daksh is Daksh. Yes, he is whole-time director. So Mona Shah is a part-time director. Daksh Shah is a whole-time director. And there is a team of other directors. My mom, dad, they are also working, but they are also under directors. So if company is in loss, assume. So I have given my best to run this company. So, but obvious, I will ask some remuneration. And that remuneration limit is there. Otherwise, what happens? I will withdraw maximum amount. It's not possible. As a manager, you have decided salary. If your company is in loss, or not having sufficient profit and not having, so company law ने क्या किया है? Company law decides limit. Company law decides limit. Why? Because I'm working very hard for this company and I have given my 100%. So I must get some remuneration from the company. And this remuneration is basically based on percentage. This percentage remuneration, because whenever person is working on percentage, remember, there are 2 types of situations. One, your employees, they are getting fixed salary. In that case, he won't work very hard because he is aware about his remuneration. He knows that I'm going to receive 17,000, 20,000 as a salary. So he's not bother, or 30,000 as a salary. So he's not bother about day hours. Okay. In labor chapter, you already understood this. So there are time wages and piece wages. Piece wages means number of units he produced multiplied by rate per unit. That is a piece wages. And time wages, number of hours work multiplied by rate per hour. So basically, employee, if he's getting a fixed remuneration, he is not interested in your company to develop the company का कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए वैसा होना चाहिए. But suppose if he gets some attractive remuneration based on the percentage, so percentage he definitely will work very hard. So percentage remuneration is important in any company. So company law decides that manager must get some percentage of the profit, because he is taking crucial decisions of the company, important decisions of the company. So he must get some percentage based remuneration and not fixed remuneration. But suppose, sir, if company is not earning any profit due to this corona situation, or might be company is having in some years, it's like, you know, in Tata company, they have Tata Motors. There was a downward trend in their, you know, I remember in 2002, 2001, there was one car which is called as Tata Indica, very popular car. Every person, middle class family or upper middle class family, they had dream to have Tata motor, Tata Indica, because it's a competition for Maruti Suzuki, that Maruti 800. If you remember 800 Maruti Alto तो बाद में आया. मुझे याद है हमारे पास 800 थी. तो 800 is, you know, कि आप upper middle class family से हो, ऐसा predict करते थे. In that case, after that in 2002, Tata introduced Tata Indica, and yes, वो time जो था Tata Indica का था. बहुत बहुत चली. मारुति on second number पे आ गई थी and Tata first पे थे. After that, what happened? Tata Indica, yes, now taxi drivers, they also had Tata Indica. So Tata Indica का market बहुत ही down हो गया. And after that, many competitors, Honda ही आया, Honda City चल ही रहा था. So all they have also reduced their, means Honda City उस टाइम पे Honda City होना मतलब एक बहुत ऐसा अलग टाइप का ये था. अभी तो कार्स के लिए इतना ये हो गया कंपटीशन, बट एसयूवी कार्स नहीं थी एट दैट टाइम का मैं बात कर रहा हूं. सो when company is in loss or might be having not sufficient profits, whether manager will not get any amount? No, sir, it's not like that. Manager will get the amount. Manager definitely will get the amount, and that amount is basically based on the remuneration part, is fixed remuneration. In case of, suppose if sufficient profit is there, sufficient profits are there, manager will get profit based on percentage. And fixed remuneration in case of losses or insufficient profits. So you can write on your study material, or even in your, if you want in notebook, you can write what company law talks about. Company law talks about the percentage, sufficient profits. Okay. So sufficient profits are based on the percentage. So if you have percentage, means a good profit, you will get the remuneration based on percentage. And if you are in loss or insufficient profit, you will get the remuneration based on some fixed amount. Okay, so some fixed amount you will get. Chalo. Now, what is your remuneration part? Beta, if you want detailed theory, you can watch my previous videos. But I don't think now it's a time for बहुत detailed theory and all. So whatever important from the question, or you can read it by your own in study material, all these parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, it is highly technical part. But suppose if you want to read it, yes, and you can, yes, if you are able to understand law point of view, then better please read your study material properly. Okay? So in that all these provisions are there. So I'm giving you it in a very simple and easiest way. Okay, how this is calculated. It's not very complicated part. But yes, if you want to understand complicated part, so go for study material theory part. Yes, now we are very positive people, as you are positive person. So this percentage First, we will calculate on the basis of percentage of net profit. So if your company is earning sufficient profit, so write down, if company is earning, yes, sufficient profits. Sufficient profits, then percentage overall remuneration. Write down overall remuneration is equal to 11% into net profit. This is overall remuneration to all. Now all means what? Beta manager or whole-time director. So we will divide it in two parts. Managerial person and beta, like my wife, part-time directors. Means they are also there. So they must get some remuneration. So part-time directors. Managerial person and part-time directors. We'll divide it in two parts once again. So write down, we'll divide it in two parts. Managerial person. Yes. One managerial person. One managerial person. Only one person is handling all these activities. So net profit into 5%. And this net profit calculation is there, beta. One managerial person, 5% of net profit. More than one person. If more than one person is there, is 10% into net profit. Part-time director also. No managing director or whole-time director, no manager. In that case, she has to work very hard, my wife. In that case, 3% of net profit. 11% is not assumption, but it is fixed by company law. And if there is managing director or whole-time director, then she will get less amount. If it depends, part-time director work is more in case of no whole-time director or managing director. But if there is managing director, then her work is less, so 1%. So beta, now I'm asking you some cases. Write down these cases. Situation. Managing director, whole-time directors, part-time directors, and last one is allowed or not. Yes. Situation 1. 5%, 6% dash. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed or not allowed with reason? Yes, tell me. Allowed or not allowed? With reason, tell me. With reason. I want reason. Correct answer is not allowed. because maximum managing director plus other 10%. So it is below 11%, but you can check their total limit cannot exceed 10%. So this is more than 1%. Not allowed because their total limit is 10%. Total limit is 10%. See beta, whole time directors will be covered by more than one person. More than one person. So managing director is also there. Whole time director is also there. Okay. So managing director means manager. Oblique manager. Yes. So this situation not allowed. 6%, 4%. 6%, 4%. Allowed or not allowed? Yes. This is your question. Allowed or not allowed? Situation 2, you have to write it in the comment section. Situation 2. With reason. With reason. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed or not allowed? See, total is 11%. See, beta, one manager person maximum must get 5%. And if there is a jhund, means there are more than one manager person who is going to manage it daily. So they must get maximum overall in them. Yes, their total remuneration, all of them is equal to 10%. If part-time director is there, so that's why I'm giving you different situations. Second one, allowed or not allowed? I know it's tricky. Second one is Vidya answered it very well. Correct answer is not allowed. Sir, Vidya only answered it correctly. And Isha Jaiswal. No, sir, it's not allowed. Because individually, though maximum one remuneration, maximum per person is 5%. Maximum per person is 5%. Though you are giving it total 11%, yes. First check 11% overall limit. Check 1. And check 2 individual limit. Individual limit, you have to check it. 11% के अंदर it's allowed. But individual limit, second one not allowed because maximum person per person is 5%. Third one, 4%, 5%, 2%. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed or not allowed? 4%, 5%, 2%. Situation 3, you have to write 2, situation 3 and answer. Situation 3 and answer. Yes, allowed or not allowed with reason. With reason, beta. With reason, tell me. With reason. Yes, what is the answer? With reason, you have to tell me. Tanya ji, why? It's not allowed. 4% allowed, 5% allowed, maximum 1%. So though it is within 11%, due to part-time director, it is not allowed. Fourth situation, 4%, sorry, 5%, 5%, 1%, allowed or not allowed. Situation 4. Yes, how many of you are getting wrong answers? Yeah, many students are getting wrong answers. बेटा अलाउड और नॉट अलाउड का मीनिंग ही नहीं समझ में आ रहा है साहिल जी. अरे क्या यार, मतलब क्या बोलने का अभी. ठीक है चलो. अरे 11% हम लोग रेम्यूनरेशन दे रहे, तो ये परसेंटेज अलाउड है क्या कि जो हम लोग 5% मैनेजर को दिए, होल टाइम डायरेक्टर को दिए? थोड़ा तो समझ लो यार. यस, अलाउड છે या નથી अलाउड? सिचुएशन नंबर 4, allowed or not allowed? It's allowed. So last one is, fourth situation is allowed. बेटा श्वेता जैन अलाउड છે fourth one. 11% yes, individual limit 5%, total 10% yes, and 1%. तो situation 4 is allowed बेटा श्वेता. Okay, I hope now you are clear with the concept of remuneration. 11%. Now next question is, sir, what is the net profit? Sir, now you explained me 11%. Net profit, what is the net profit, sir? First explain us what is net profit. Net profit means income minus expenses. Sir, whether this net profit company is getting? No, sir. This net profit has separate calculation, not as per our company profit. That profit you have calculated, that is not allowed. This net profit we have to calculate separately. In this, understand it carefully. Company law has given what is to be included and what is not to be included. What company law has given, what is to be included and what is not to be included. So this net profit, there is a big list of what is to be included. So it's better to focus on not to be included part. So friends, once again I am telling you, you have to focus on that part which is not to be included. So it's better to focus on only that part which is not to be included. So here I will give a list not to be included because it has few items as compared to included. It has minimum 3-4 pages items, and hardly here what is to be included and not included, we have hardly, there are 5 to 6 items. So income which is not to be included and expenses. Income and expenses. Income and expenses. Understand it. Income that not to be included. Please write it with, yes, with me only. Net profit, income minus expenses, separate calculation. We have separate calculation for this. Income. Number 1. Premium. Premium means excess amount that you collected on shares, oblique debentures. So if manager is a greedy person, he may include this premium on shares as income. Not allowed. So this is very common sense, and this is not allowed as per Company Act also. Yes. Second one, profit on sale of forfeited shares. Profit on sale of forfeited shares is also not allowed. My friend, if profit on sale of forfeited shares are allowed, but he will increase his remuneration. So this is also not allowed. Remember this part. Third one, profit of capital nature. Profit of capital nature, including profit on sale of undertaking. Including profit of capital nature or profit on sale of undertaking. It's not day-to-day profit. If you are selling any asset, it is included. But profit on sale of immovable property. Suppose if a company has a property and company sold it for due to some financial problems, and in that company is earning profit, but it is not allowed for remuneration calculation. This profit is included in net profit, but don't calculate, don't consider it for remuneration, and it's logical. He's getting remuneration for day-to-day business expense and income. He's not getting for anything extraordinary or which is exceptional in nature. Okay, so don't consider that profits while calculating manager remuneration. It's very logical. Profit on immovable property. Profit on sale of immovable property. And revaluations. Revaluations of assets and liabilities in simple language. If revalued profits are more as compared to cost book values, in that case, he won't get any remuneration on revaluation. Very logical, otherwise he will revalue all assets, and this is unrealized profit. Logic is very simple. This is unrealized profit. You are not selling it. So unrealized profit are there. So how we can pay remuneration out of this profit? So these 5 items we have to consider. No, we don't have to consider while calculation of net profits. Very simple. Yes, my friends. Are you getting this concept? What is to be included and what is to be excluded? It's very easy. Yes, till now. So can you tell me whether you will focus on items which is included or items which are not included? Yes. Items which are included or items which are not included. Tell me it in the comment section. Tell me it in the comment section. Tell me in comment section fast whether you will focus on items to be included or items which are not to be included. So first one is premium on shares. Beta, this will give you 5 marks. Yes. Very good, Pooja. Now expenses not to be included. Expenses not to be included. Income tax and super tax. Now super tax means education cess वगैरह. So that is not included. So income tax don't deduct it. Any compensation. Now see, beta, this word is very important. Any compensation made voluntarily. Voluntarily. If mandatory compensation, that will be included. But voluntary contribution, not to be included. Loss of capital nature. If you sold inventory, it is regular in nature. And if you sell immovable property, it is capital nature. So that loss is also not included. And last one, revaluation losses. So losses, revaluation losses are also not included in calculation, as revaluation profits are not included. So why to include revaluation losses? Logic is very simple. Undertaking means business beta. Immovable property means land and building. So two are different, 3 and 4. Okay. Very simple. Yes, included and not included. Now beta, if you are in loss, and you are not having sufficient profits, what you are going to do? Okay. So now concept is, so yes, maximum limit you understood. Chalo, whatever you understood till now, please give it in the comment section. Whatever you understood till now, yes, tell me it in the comment section. Let's focus. Who is answering very fast? So these are some sufficient profits points. If you have sufficient profits, in that case, we have remuneration. So remuneration, you understood. Managerial remuneration is very important in company law. In real life, you have to calculate all these things. Yes, my friends, I know now it's time for articleship. Many of your direct entry students, they are leaving early, but if possible, try to listen these sessions last 30 minutes in bus or in your traveling. Last 30 minutes, please manage it properly. ये बहुत important है last के 30 minutes. चलो मुझे बताइए मेरे दोस्तों कि आपको क्या समझ में आया. So till now, whatever you understood, points जो भी है, tell me what you understood. Yes. Yes, beta. Poonam Sharma, in simple language, overall means we do not have to include in capital revenue and बाकी के revenue में. Yes, very good. Capital nature items we do not have to consider. Yes, that is the overall understanding. But yes, कुछ students मुझे बता रहे हैं अभी. बेटा इनकम टैक्स, सिद्धांत गर्ग ने बोल दिया सर मैक्सिमम लिमिट इज 11%. नेट प्रॉफिट कैलकुलेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू कंपनी लॉ फोकस ऑन आइटम्स विच आर नॉट टू बी इंक्लूडेड. Depreciation, yes, beta. Depreciation as per company law allowed, beta. As per company law, other depreciation part is not allowed. Matanjali ने बोला maximum limit of profits, percentage of manager, part-time directors, and which is not included. ठीक है बेटा. In case of insufficient profits and losses. In case of sufficient profits and in case of insufficient profits and losses. Chalo, now please focus. Shweta Jain answered it. 11% of the net profit is only allowed to directors, managers. Individual limits 5% for manager. More than one manager person means for manager 5% plus others 10%, maximum 10%. And no managing director then 3%. And if there is managing director then 1%. Very good. And then what is not to be included is given. ठीक है, चलो. Now focus on these points. So जल्दी से inadequate profit. Now beta, inadequate profit is not based on percentage because you do not have profits. So percentage are not of use. So beta, whenever percentage of profits is not useful, then you have to calculate effective capital. Calculate effective capital. Now what is effective capital? Yes, I will explain it. Like your net profit, what is to be included in net profit. But see, effective capital will decide the remuneration. So now if question is not based on, if you do not have sufficient profits, so you have to see your effective capital. Now what is effective capital? Wait for some time. Effective capital I'm going to explain you. So effective capital. and remuneration. So there are two columns, effective capital and remuneration. If you have negative or less than 5 crores effective capital, negative or less than 5 crores. So बेटा साल भर का 60 लाख है, मतलब महीने का 5 लाख हुआ रे, कितना हुआ महीने का, मैं कैसे याद रखता, 60 lakhs is difficult for me to remember, but I remember in this case 5 lakhs per month. How recall it? 5 lakhs per month. But institute has given, don't calculate monthly calculation. Huh? Yes, it is only for your understanding that 5 lakhs salary per month. Okay, if you have effective capital less than 5 crores or negative effective capital. Next one, 5 crores to 100 crores. 5 crores to 100 crores. 5 crores to 100 crores. How to recall it? 2 lakh से increase करना. कितने से increase करना? 2 lakh से. So 7 lakh per month. 12 sevens are 84 lakhs. 100 crore to 250 crore. 10 lakhs per month, beta. 10 lakhs per month means rupees 1 crore 20 lakhs. So if you are manager of any company, beta, of maximum limitation, if you are in loss, you will get minimum 5 lakhs rupees. Okay, listed company, it is allowed as per company law, and more than 250 crores. In that case, minimum 1 crore 20 lakhs you will get, plus 0.01% in excess of, now this is in percentage, in excess of 250 crores. So whatever capital you have in excess of 250 crores, you will get 0.01% of that capital. So this is the overall remuneration in case of losses or insufficient profits. So in case of insufficient profits, you have this percentage. But can I show directly the profit percentage or should I write it? Okay, so how to calculate? So you like this technique? So sir is also writing with you, or should I directly show the slide? Yes, tell me in the comment section. Should I show directly the slide, or it's okay that I'm writing because my handwriting is not looking good? That's why I'm asking you. Yes, if you want, I will show directly the slide. Last 5 minutes data, effective capital. Yes, we are just calculating effective capital. You can see my original handwriting if you want. Yes. Should I write or should I show you directly presentation? Okay. Nalini is saying sir slides sir. बाकी सब बोल रहे writing it's okay sir. It is understandable. Shweta Jain is telling sir write because we can understand clearly above. ठीक है. चलो 0.01% बेटा 0.01%. Chalo. Okay. Now question is what is effective capital? So effective capital now, yes. See the difference. Now I will show you my original handwriting. Yes, this is my original handwriting. Now what is the effective capital? See, in effective capital, paid up share capital. So you will consider excluding share application money because it's not your money, your shares. So don't consider application money received pending allotment. So excluding share application money. Then security premium you will add, security premium plus resource and surplus you will add, but excluding resource revaluation reserve. Long-term loans and advances. Sir, capital includes liability also, long-term borrowings and deposits. And see, investment is deducted. Why? Logic is very simple. Suppose you have given me 100 rupees as a capital. So you have given me 100 rupees as a capital and I invested it in Reliance company. 20 rupees. Investment in shares. If my business is of investment, then it's okay. But suppose if my business is not of investment, so I have not directly invested, I have invested only 80 rupees in the business. So I will consider only 80 rupees. Don't consider that 20 rupees investment because your company is not investment company. So you will consider only 80 rupees. That is very important. So if your capital is 100 rupees, out of that, you invested in shares rupees 20. So you won't consider this investment as a business investment. So your effective capital will be only 80. And that is the logic of this. So investment amount is deducted. Accumulated losses, we will deduct it because resource and surplus we add it. So losses we will deduct it and preliminary expenses are also not considered. So now you can write this effective capital. Effective capital. So this may be asked in the exam to calculate the effective capital. Yes, this is my original handwriting. So paid up capital, excluding share application money or advance against shares, plus security premium. Yes, take a screenshot and you can write it afterwards. So yes, beta, taken the screenshot. So please solve. Now today's homework. Yes, I will quickly revise it in Hindi once again and then again in English. So last 3 to 4 minutes. तो मैं जल्दी से आपको ये एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ इफेक्टिव कैपिटल। और ये लास्ट के 3 मिनट्स में देखो, अब तक बेटा हमने बैलेंस शीट के परफॉर्मेंस बहुत बढ़िया किए, इक्विटी एंड लायबिलिटी, शेयर होल्डर फंड, शेयर कैपिटल, रिजर्व सरप्लस, ब्ला 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 ब्ला, बैलेंस शीट के आइटम्स, और उसमें सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स हमें उसमें डालने थे। अभी आज हमने देखा कि भाई फर्स्ट पार्ट इज व्हाट इज मैनेजरियल रेम्यूनरेशन. In next session, I'm going to explain this illustration number 1 and 2. And one concept is there for dividend calculation. That is the first part. And after that, we will solve that 2 illustrations which are of TYK. If you find it difficult, otherwise I won't take it. If you find this difficult, I will take it in the next session, that TYK number, last illustrations. So, सबसे पहले मैंने आपको ये बताया कि मैनेजरियल रेम्यूनरेशन जो होता है, अभी देखो हिंदी में बता रहा हूँ, बहुत स्पीड में रहेगा हिंदी में. सो हिंदी में समझ लीजिए, 11% इज अ नेट प्रॉफिट. तो 11% ऑफ द नेट प्रॉफिट, देखो एक तो 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया. मैनेजर रेम्यूनरेशन, आपकी कंपनी बहुत अच्छे फायदे में है, तो ये याद रखना, कभी भी आपको एम्प्लॉय को खुश रखना है तो परसेंटेज में बहुत अच्छा लगता है उसको, तो परफॉर्मेंस बहुत बढ़िया देता है. जैसे कि पीस रेट ऑफ ये कैलकुलेशन होता है, पीस रेट. और सपोज टाइम वेजेस होगा तो वो क्या, ठीक है चलता है, अपने को तो सैलरी मिलने वाला है, घर पे जाके सोने का, बस इतना ही उसके दिमाग में आएगा. तो 11% ऑफ द नेट प्रॉफिट, 11% ऑफ द नेट प्रॉफिट विल गेट द कैलकुलेशन. सो नेट प्रॉफिट का 11% आपका रहेगा. सो आपको क्या समझ में आया कि यहाँ पे मैनेजर रेम्यूनरेशन जो होगा वो 11% ऑफ नेट प्रॉफिट रहने वाला है. तो नेट प्रॉफिट मतलब क्या सर? तो नेट प्रॉफिट का कैलकुलेशन करने के लिए इधर अभी ये 11% में भी बेटा 3 लोगों का ये अलग अलग ये है कि मैनेजर होगा, अकेला बंदा काम कर रहा है तो वो 5% करेगा. यदि दुकेला मतलब अकेले से ज्यादा लोग रहेंगे तो उसका 10% आपका नेट प्रॉफिट का रहने वाला है. और यदि उसके साथ पार्ट टाइम डायरेक्टर्स है तो पार्ट टाइम डायरेक्टर्स का रेम्यूनरेशन डिपेंड करता है आपके कंपनी में होल टाइम डायरेक्टर है या नहीं, ओके है या नहीं है. सो 5 पर उनको 1% और 3% मिलने वाला है. 1% कब मिलेगा? यदि कंपनी में बाकी सब लोग है तो इसका क्या काम है, इसलिए उसको 1% ही देने का. और बाकी लोग नहीं है तो ये बेटा इसके ऊपर जिम्मेदारी ज्यादा आएगी तो 3%. अरे दिन भर काम नहीं करता, पार्ट टाइम डायरेक्टर है तो 3% ही उसको मिलने वाला है. बहुत सिंपल है सर, बहुत सिंपल है. सो नेट प्रॉफिट ये आपका समझ में आ गया. अभी नेट प्रॉफिट के कैलकुलेशन में आपको क्या बताया, एक तो बड़ी लिस्ट है इंक्लूड करने का, तो वो सर बहुत डेंजर है. उससे अच्छा एक्सक्लूड क्या करने का, उसके ऊपर फोकस कीजिए, अपने आप मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. नेट प्रॉफिट में एक्सक्लूड क्या करना है, तो नेट प्रॉफिट में कैलकुलेशन में इनकम में क्या एक्सक्लूड करना है, तो नंबर 1 पॉइंट क्या रहेगा, ये सबसे पहले जो आपके अननेसेसरी जो इनकम्स होते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम, सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम का ये ले रहे हो, या प्रॉफिट ऑन सेल ऑफ फॉरफिटेड शेयर्स नहीं अलाउड है. तीसरा प्रॉफिट ऑन सेल ऑफ अंडरटेकिंग बेचा पूरा का पूरा, अरे बेटा ये तो बिजनेस बेचा आपने और बिजनेस बेच के आपने प्रॉफिट कमाया, ये तो एक्सेप्शनल नेचर का प्रॉफिट है, वो कहीं का उसके ऊपर कैसे रेम्यूनरेशन दे सकते हैं? या आपने एक इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी, वो तो आने वाला है, मैंने 10 लाख पहले प्रॉपर्टी में लिया था, आज 1 करोड़ में बेचेगा तो मैं तुझे क्यों रेम्यूनरेशन दूं? वो तू बिजनेस कर रहा है क्या? ये प्रॉपर्टी बिजनेस आपका इनकम नहीं है, तो ये प्रॉपर्टी इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी के ऊपर प्रॉफिट कमाया तो नहीं मिलेगा। ओके, और दूसरा मैंने बताया कि यदि रिवैल्यूएशन कुछ होता है, रिवैल्यूएशन मतलब क्या, कि फॉर एग्जांपल आज 1 लाख के एसेट थी, कल 4 लाख हो गया, अरे 3 लाख के ऊपर तुझे क्यों दूंगा मैं रेम्यूनरेशन, तो वो भी अलाउड नहीं है, रिवैल्यूएशन पे नहीं मिलेगा। अभी इनकम जो एक्सपेंसेस में इनकम टैक्स और सुपर टैक्स नहीं मिलेगा बेटा, इनकम टैक्स और इसमें नहीं मिलेगा। दूसरा, फिर लॉसेस हुए इन कैपिटल नेचर के, तो वो भी नहीं मिलेगा। तीसरा आपका रिवैल्यूएशन लॉसेस, उसमें भी नहीं मिलेगा। सर अभी यदि प्रॉफिट ही नहीं रहेगा, प्रॉफिट नहीं रहेगा तो भी आपको रिम्यूनरेशन मिलेगा क्या? हाँ भाई मिलेगा, इनसफिशिएंट प्रॉफिट में या लॉसेस में भी आपको रिम्यूनरेशन मिलेगा। सर प्रॉफिट नहीं है, परसेंटेज कैसे निकाले? 11% तो निगेटिव में आएगा सर, उल्टा रिम्यूनरेशन उसको देना पड़ेगा। वेट वेट वेट, अभी परसेंटेज में नहीं देना है तुझे, किस पे देना है? इफेक्टिव कैपिटल के ऊपर देना है। अभी सर इफेक्टिव कैपिटल क्या होता है? सर इफेक्टिव कैपिटल मतलब सबसे पहले पेड अप कैपिटल लेने का, उसमें रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस ऐड करने का, सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम ऐड करने का, रिवैल्यूएशन नहीं ऐड करने का, लॉन्ग टर्म डिपॉजिट, हाँ सर बोरिंग्स भी ऐड करने के लॉन्ग टर्म वाले, सर लेस क्या करने का? इन्वेस्टमेंट लेस करने का, एक्यूमुलेटेड लॉसेस लेस करने का, प्रीलिमिनरी एक्सपेंसेस लेस करने का। तो ये आया इफेक्टिव कैपिटल। सर इफेक्टिव कैपिटल आने के बाद क्या करने का? सर उसके बाद 5 लाख रुपया महीने का मिलेगा, 60 लाख रुपया। कितना इफेक्टिव कैपिटल? 5 करोड़ का इफेक्टिव कैपिटल है। 5 करोड़ से कम रहेगा तो नहीं मिलेगा बेटा, इतना ही मिलेगा 60 लाख रुपया। 5 से 100 करोड़ का है, सो 5 करोड़ से 100 करोड़ का तो कितना मिलेगा? फिर 7 लाख महीने का, 84 लाख सालाना। फिर सर आगे बोलो, वो ये 100 करोड़ टू 250 करोड़ कितना मिलेगा? तो उसके ऊपर 100 टू 50 करोड़ पे 10 लाख महीने का, 1 करोड़ 20 लाख साल लाना, और उसके ऊपर 2 करोड़ 50 लाख के ऊपर, 250 करोड़ के ऊपर रहेगा तो कितना? सर 0.01% एक्स्ट्रा मिलने वाला है वो प्रॉफिट के ऊपर। या ये सर समझ में आया? पूरा का पूरा समझ में आया? बहुत बढ़िया सर। तो ये था इफेक्टिव कैपिटल। अभी हमें क्या करना है? अभी हमें ये सब एक्सपेंडिचर इनकम हमने कैलकुलेट तो कर लिए सर, इनएडिक्वेट प्रॉफिट वगैरह सब, तो ये परसेंटेज भी हमें कैलकुलेशन करने के बाद एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस कौन से आएंगे? तो एग्जाम में इफेक्टिव कैपिटल के ऊपर का क्वेश्चन आएगा। इट्स वेरी सिंपल। देखो क्वेश्चन कौन से आने वाले, इफेक्टिव कैपिटल दो ही पार्ट है, सफिशिएंट प्रॉफिट, नो सफिशिएंट प्रॉफिट। Test your knowledge beta, TYK refers to test your knowledge. Just got the concept of effective capital is 9:35. I hope you enjoyed this session. Concept clear che? So today's homework TYK 1 2 TYK 2 TYK 3 all TYKs and ilu illustration number. Yes, today's homework. I hope you enjoyed this session. You understood what is managerial remuneration is of 5 marks question. The following is the extract number 1 and this is number 2, number 3, divisible profit. Yes, next time concept divisible profit. 3 illustrations you will do by your own and then we will solve it in the next session, my friends. Yes, English revision I will take at the beginning of this next session. So enjoyed this session, understood all concepts in detail. So bye bye, have a good day and enjoyed with you. Yes, percentage and all this very important and very easy session. Thank you. Day after tomorrow on Thursday. Bye bye.